Okay, so today we're diving into something really interesting, the X5 controller. Now this thing, it's not just another accessory. According to our source material, this could be a full-on declaration of war against the entire gaming industry. Yeah, you heard that right. So let's dig in and find out why. And here it is, the central claim, the big, bold thesis of this whole explainer. I mean, think about that for a second. That's a massive statement. It's basically saying your dedicated gaming consoles are about to be obsolete. So how on earth did we get to this point? Let's unpack it. All right, so let's set the scene. We're talking about the year 2026, and according to our source material, this isn't just another year. This is the critical turning point in gaming history. This is the moment where the lines between platforms, they don't just get a little blurry. No, they completely evaporate.
And this moment has a name, the console mobile singularity. What does that mean? Well, it's the point where a top-of-the-line smartphone can pump out graphics that are pretty much indistinguishable from a dedicated console. You've got AAA games hitting mobile, cloud streaming is working perfectly, everything is in place. Well, almost everything. There's just one piece missing, that perfect physical connection between your hands and the screen.
And this is that bridge. Meet the X5. This thing is the brainchild of a powerhouse alliance between GameSir and Hyperkin. It's built like an absolute tank, with a titanium alloy chassis, takes its ergonomic cues from the legendary Xbox Elite controller, and it's designed to fit pretty much any flagship phone you can throw at it. Its whole purpose? To literally mutate your phone into a brand new kind of hybrid console.
Okay, so now it's time to pop the hood and see what makes this thing tick. We're going to do a little, let's call it a mechanical autopsy, to really understand what makes this controller so revolutionary. And we're going to start by tackling the biggest complaints about mobile gamepads. You know that feeling, right? For years, mobile controllers have just felt cheap, spongy, mushy. That's all thanks to those cheap rubber membranes inside. Well, the X5 completely rips that system out. Instead, it uses professional-grade Omron mechanical microswitches, the exact same tech you'd find in a high-end esports mouse. The result? Oh, it's an instant, tactile, super satisfying click with an actuation distance of just 0.3 millimeters. It's basically instant. And if you're wondering about quality, get this. Each one of those switches is benchmarked for a lifespan of over 5 million clicks. That is not a typo. So yeah, this isn't some disposable plastic toy. It is built to withstand years of intense, competitive play. Now, let's talk about the absolute nightmare of every modern gamer, the plague. I'm talking about stick drift. Oh yeah, you know what I mean. It's affected controllers from Nintendo to Sony, turning your expensive gear into a frustrating paperweight as the insides just wear out. So, what's the X5 solution? It's actually genius. See, normal controllers use potentiometers, where physical parts are literally rubbing against each other, causing them to wear down. The X5 throws that old tech out the window. It uses third-gen Hall effect sensors. These things use magnetic fields to figure out the joystick's position. There's zero physical contact. No contact means no friction, and no friction means no degradation. Stick drift is theoretically completely eliminated. But there's another, more silent killer of mobile gaming performance: heat. You fire up a gorgeous, graphically intense game, and what happens? Your phone gets hot. Super hot. To protect itself, the operating system slams on the brakes and slows down the processor. That, my friends, is thermal throttling, and it absolutely tanks your frame rate. The X5's killer feature is its built-in Peltier cooler. And that's not just a fan, folks. This is basically a miniature refrigerator. Seriously. It uses an electric current to make one side of a metal plate intensely cold, which cools your phone by up to 20 degrees Celsius and keeps your performance locked at its peak. Okay, so you've got incredible buttons, no stick drift, and a chilled-out phone. But all that power is completely useless if your connection is laggy, right? So let's talk about the next critical piece of this puzzle, connectivity, and how the X5 gets to basically zero latency. Let's be real. For any kind of serious, competitive gaming, Bluetooth is the enemy. It's just not reliable. You get latency, jitter, signal interference. It's a mess. The X5 doesn't even play that game. It completely sidesteps the problem with a direct, physical USB Type-C connection. It's a wired link. It is flawless. It is unbreakable. And if you want the proof, here's the math. That direct wired connection allows for a polling rate of 1,000 Hz. What does that mean? It means the controller is telling your phone its exact status 1,000 times every single second. And the result of all that? An input latency of just 1 millisecond. 1.
To put that in perspective, that's a delay so small your human nervous system literally cannot perceive it. It is, for all intents and purposes, zero latency. The gap between you thinking jump and your character jumping on screen, it's gone.
So, we've established the hardware is top tier and the speed is instantaneous. Now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture, the ripple effect. What happens when a device this powerful gets unleashed on the gaming ecosystem? And this is where it gets really interesting. This is the X5's secret weapon. You know how a lot of competitive mobile games flat out ban controllers? Well, the X5 has a clever way around that. Its software works at the deepest level of the hardware, the kernel level. This makes every button press look like a genuine human finger tap to the game. It completely fools the anti-cheat systems. This also makes it the ultimate weapon for cloud gaming. It's officially designed for Xbox certified. It perfectly mimics the Xbox controller right down to the impulse triggers with their own rumble motors. And this changes the entire economic equation. Why buy a whole new console when a Game Pass subscription and the X5 give you that same premium experience on the supercomputer you already carry in your pocket? And you can just imagine the impact on mobile esports, right? It's seismic. A player with an X5 has such a massive, profound advantage over someone tapping on glass that our source material forecasts that major tournaments will have no choice. They will be forced to split into two separate leagues, a touch input league and an X5 controller league, just to keep things even remotely fair. But no piece of tech is perfect. There's always a trade-off. And for the sake of a balanced analysis, we have to talk about the true cost of all this power, the downsides.
And here is the big one. That incredible Peltier cooler, it's a power hog, a major power drain. If you're running it on max chill mode to get the best performance, you can expect to drain your phone's battery up to 40% faster. So yeah, it solves the heat problem, but it creates a whole new battery life problem.
And it's not just a drain on your battery, there's a physical toll too. All that stuff, the titanium, the cooler, the motors, it all adds up. This device is heavy. And the source material specifically warns that after long gaming sessions, you could be looking at some serious wrist fatigue. I guess that's the price you pay for strapping a console to your phone.
And all of this brings us back to the central question, the core dilemma posed by the X5. Is this just the natural next step in the evolution of gaming? Or is it something else? Is it a piece of hardware that creates such an unfair advantage that it completely shatters the competitive landscape?
The source material doesn't mince words. It leaves us with this final, powerful verdict. The message couldn't be clearer. The era of thinking of mobile controllers as cheap plastic toys is over. The borders between platforms have collapsed. The rules have totally changed. And the smartphone, armed with cybernetic weaponry like the X5, is now the central battleground for the entire future of gaming.